Hi there, it's Catherine from Sunnyside Journals. I'm here today with a little visit with a little thrift haul. And actually, I'm also going to open some Happy Mail, but I didn't make up a card for it. But I'm going to open some Happy Mail. It's my last day that I can use my blue September card. Next time we get together on YouTube, it'll be an October card. I'm going to try and sit down here. I'm not moaning and groaning for other reasons. I'm just feeling old today. I'm sore. There we go. Alrighty. So I had a few little things that I wanted to share with you. I have a feeling this is going to be a long one. So if y'all want to go and get, I can't believe I just said y'all. And I'm Canadian. We don't say y'all up here. But I watch so many wonderful American YouTube junk journal channels. I think y'all might have to adopt me soon. Anyhow, if you would like to go and get yourselves a glass of wine or something, because we're going to be a while, I'll wait. You can go. You still here? Okay, let's get started then. I may hit pause if you hear the dog barking her head off because my husband's going to be home from work any second now, and she makes a ridiculous amount of noise when he comes in the door, and he makes just as much noise because they're very happy to see each other at the end of each day. Oh, I need to get something out of it. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. I had the wrong one. So, little visit. Let me start with what's right on my mind. So I was in, oh wait, no, not this yet. Thank you to everyone. Last Wednesday, so the 25th. Thank you to everyone who went over to my Etsy shop and just took a little look around to see what books I had available. And a great big thank you to everyone, those of you who made a purchase. I'm absolutely humbled and flattered and tickled. And as of today, they're all in the mail and on their way to you. So I wanted to say that first. Big thank you very much. Thank you for even just looking. Boy, to take the time to go over and take a look. That means a lot to me. And I really appreciate it. Now, I want to share with you something I did last week because it just shocked me and it was like a happy accident. It's not just my fifth child was a happy accident. This is a happy accident too. I was in a hurry last week. I was heading out the door, going to see my mom. I think it was Tuesday. And I go every Tuesday morning and I do my mother's hair for her. She lives in town, a couple towns away, so it takes a little while to get over there, and I do her hair for her. But I had this gleaming white lace. I'm working on two journals. I'm working on Felicia, and I'm also working on a commissioned journal for as a gift for someone who's having a birthday. And I wanted to use this lace, but I wanted it to look aged, and you can see it's diamond white. And I was in a hurry, and I thought I don't have time to brew tea. So I've got this. It's vintage photo. It's the refillable. It's the ink to remoisten your distress pad. So I thought, you know what? I put about an inch of water in this little jar, and then I just added a few little drops of the vintage photo and shook it up, and then I cut off what I needed of the lace and put it into the jar and shook it up again, and then I went off out the door. And so it had a good few hours to soak in this diluted version of this distress ink. And when I got home, the water was, a lovely chocolatey brown color, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. Maybe I found a quick answer to when I need some aged lace pronto. And I went into the we have a spare bathroom across the hall from where my studio is upstairs here. So I went into our spare bathroom, And I started rinsing out the lace, rinsing the ink out of it, so that I could hang it up to dry. And the brown started coming out and rinsing out and going down the drain. And wait till you see what I was left with. Lavender. Lavender. And it's a really pretty dusty lavender. It's so pretty. So that's what I mean by a happy accident. Let me lay them down beside each other so you can see that one is white and one's lavender. I hope it's coming across as lavender and doesn't look gray. It's not gray. This is it's dusty lavender, but it's lavender. Or maybe lilac or whatever you choose to call it. Anyhow, that was my happy accident because I actually like it. And I am going to still put it into the 2 journals I'm working on. So there you go. If you've got vintage photo refill ink and you need to make something lavender, just mix it with a bit of water and soak your stuff and you'll get lavender. What's first here? First I'm going to go in. I got some very, very sweet things. My sister-in-law, hi Colleen, sent me some little sewing bits and bobs that she still had from my mother-in-law, her mom, left over that she wasn't going to use. And she knows now what I use when I'm making junk journals, all the different things I use, not just the buttons, but the cards and what have you. So she bundled up a few things that were in her mom's sewing box, which just absolutely made me so happy. I've already used some of it, so some is already missing. Isn't that cute? Oh, it's another little button. Okay, so some is already missing because I've already used some of it in some journals already. And it just warms my heart knowing that they belonged to my sweet mother-in-law. I loved her very, very much, and I miss her every day. My goodness, that woman had a sense of humor. And when I showed up in the family, she just welcomed me like I'd always been there. Well, the whole family did. But she welcomed me in, and we both discovered that we love to sing, and we'd sit at the kitchen table and we'd sing, and oh my goodness. Yeah, so thank you, Colleen. Included in with it, Colleen, if you remember, you included a little binder, but the clip that opens the metal was broken. It couldn't be saved, so I made a no-sew travel journal out of it, and I put I haven't put folded papers in it yet. I have to do that. This is the original papers from it, so I'm still going to use those. That's a beautiful color. But I reinforced the spine, made it like new. This is leather, so this has got a good many more years of use ahead of it. And I put a RCAF button on there, which I love using. I've got a bunch of these. My dad was in the RCAF. So, and actually so was my mother-in-law's brother. They were both wireless air gunners in World War II. Sadly, my mother-in-law's brother was killed in action. And blessedly, my dad was safe during the war. So anyhow, so that's my little visit with all my stuff that my wonderful sister-in-law gave me to put into my little studio. I hit my thrift stores this morning because I needed a paper shredder, and I got a few good things from my thrift stores, but I'm first going to go into this. I have to stand up to do this because I want to make sure I've got it in camera. And see, there we go. I don't. Look at that. I got home Friday Oh my goodness, I have been so busy. I have been at the post office. They know me now. Thank you to you wonderful people who ordered journals. The ladies at my post office know me now. But on my last visit in to drop off packages, there was one for me. And it was from my crafty crush. Hi, Nancy. Um, Most of you already know that Wishes and Weeds and I, we have, well, you know what? The whole time I went through this, because I've already been through it, but I'm going to show you again with what's inside. I kept thinking in my head, me and wishes, wishes and weeds, wishes and weeds, wishes and weeds, wishes and weeds. We got a thing going on. Do, 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 do. Anyhow, there you go. There's my voice for the day. She sent me a goodie box. I mean, I was just happy with the box. I thought, oh, she sent me a puzzle. And I love using puzzles because I actually make little charms out of puzzles and that. And I thought, well, isn't that nice of her? She sent me a puzzle. But then I tried to shake it and there was no shaky, shaky sound. So I opened it up and oh my goodness, it was just jam-packed full of wonderful things. I can tell you made these, Nancy. These are absolutely beautiful. Your workmanship is impeccable. The stitching is absolutely perfectly around the edge. Oh my goodness. I am just absolutely in awe of your attention to detail. I'm keeping one for my journal and one will go into some lucky person is going to get a Sunnyside journal with a little Wishes and Weeds stuck in it. So, all the fabrics are so beautiful. Again, I'm keeping this one for myself because those of you who know when my shop was closed all summer, it was because my husband and I were in our trailer up north in the middle of the woods in Ontario roasting marshmallows over a campfire. And this one looks like our little trailer. So that's staying with me. That's going in my journal. Like I said, I already got into some of it because the colors in these little pieces, I guess somebody who's a quilter was pre-cutting because the shades all match. They're all these beautiful corals and light greens. And I had to get into it because I had to send a few of these. The junk journal I made called A Thatched Roof is all in shades of dusty greens and coral. And so I had to open it up and put some of these samples in so that A Thatched Roof's new owner could enjoy using some of these when they start personalizing their journal. So I got into that. I love these tiny, teeny tiny little ribbons. Oh, I got into these too. I needed this red one for the person who got the journal Little Women. I made an extra tag and I used some of this red on that tag. So like I said, I was like a kid on Christmas Eve who started sneaking into the presents early. I love these. I remember when you did an estate haul and you got these. This actually looks like a satin ribbon that has been ruffled. And what a brilliant idea. I mean, I can't do it that uniformly, but I think that's something that as journalers we could do. Some of us that can, maybe I'm overthinking myself with my sewing machine, but I'm going to play around. But in the meantime, I love this and I love the color. I think some of this is going to go into Infelice because that's some of the colors that I'm using. And this, oh, this one, I really, really, really love this one. It's such an unusual ruffle. I've never seen a ruffle like these. They almost look like just slightly geometrical rather than a usual fluffy ruffle. They're a pleated ruffle, I guess, is the term. I don't know. I never know the official terms for things. So let's get you put away. And then there's just bundles and bundles of beautiful fabrics, and which I greatly appreciate. I love that. It's Halloween, but it reminds me of Frida Kahlo. I always appreciate secondhand fabrics because that's all I use. I love this fabric. It reminds me of my sister-in-law and my niece. They went to Japan last year and they brought me back some, hold on, I got a cough. They brought me back some rice paper right from Japan. And this reminds me of the beautiful floral rice papers that they brought me back. Oh, I'm going to have to decide who gets this fabric because that's just gorgeous. And then there's more little things. Nancy, these are my first ever quilt squares, quilt pieces that I've ever had. So I'm looking forward to using them and figuring out where I want to use them. They're sweet. I've never quilted, and I have a mother who is an absolutely magnificent, skilled quilter. But it's not something that I ever took up. I'm glad she taught me to sew. I know how to sew very well, actually. But quilting just never interested me. Now this fabric, I love this fabric, and I've already put it aside. Last week I had a lot of interest in this journal, Tulips. I had a lot of people ask about it, wanting to know details, wanting more photos. And for some reason, she didn't go. But I think the reason is the universe wanted her to hang around a little longer so that my happy mail could arrive. Because look at these little tulips. And look at this book. Like they were made for each other. So this weekend coming up, or this week, I guess. I'm losing track of time. Tulips is going to get some tulips somehow incorporated into her. I'll find. Maybe make a ruffle or something. That fabric is so cute. I love these. Oh my goodness. It's like euchre and index cards got together and had a baby. And I love euchre and I love index cards. So these are just, look at the color. I must confess, I just love that aged creamy color. And these are all good to go. Wow, lovely. Lovely, lovely. I like this. Although it looks like you could put your eye out with it. I hear my mother's voice when I say that. Don't run with that, Joe. Put your eye out. I'm going to make something cool out of that card. Kitties, seam binding. I love the lion on this. That's going to be fun. I don't know whether I'm going to use the whole thing or whether it's got perforations. That's the word I'm looking for. And I can break them up and use them separately and then maybe even use that top part. I'm going to have to think about that. I love tassels. I think I've got one on the go. My brain's going while I should be talking. I love these. These are beautiful. So nice, Nancy. And I already took a few out. I took 2 out to go into Infelice. And then there was one with a lighthouse on it that I put aside. And there was one that had 3 collie puppies on it that I put aside. So, thank you. And you know what? Of all of these, which is the only one I have? There was only one that was a repeat of... now I can't find it. Oh, I love that one. Well, I can't find it and I'm wasting time. I love that one. Tea cards. Oh, the way to my heart is tea cards and, of course, little birds. Look at this. Aren't they lovely? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. They're going to go into my tea card container right now. And actually, this is my little envelope where I put my Nancy tea cards, because I do have other tea cards now. I have got some other ones. But for the lucky people who get a Nancy tea card, like I told you, we got a thing going on. Okay. Like this. I could do it. ASMR video with this. And you could drift off to sleep. I love it. I'm going to use this. That's really cool. Cool. And I love these. I love these little stickers with all the little creatures on it. I love this guy, especially in the overalls. I wear overalls almost every day. In fact, here, there's the button from my overalls. I'm wearing overalls right now. So he's going into my journal. And so is this one here, the little bird. She's got a hat on and she's carrying a purse. She's like Queen Elizabeth. What is she carrying a purse for? What's she got in there? She's the queen. Doesn't she have 12 people following her around? My brothers used to say, I know what she's got in that purse. She's got a Mickey in there. And you know what? She's a queen. If she wants to, she can. Nancy, I bow to you and your tea dyeing. This is magnificent. I can tell you've tea dyed this. And it is so smooth and so impeccable. It's just beautiful. And this stuff, I love it because you can actually, I don't know if the camera will show, you can see that it says onion skin. I love it. And I love, of course, that it's from Buffalo. Oh, this one's from Snyder, New York. There's one down here from Buffalo. Fleur-de-Lis must have had several offices. Yeah, this one's Buffalo. I knew I saw Buffalo. I'm about 2 hours away from Buffalo, New York. So when I was growing up, if we were going on vacation down into the States, we crossed over. Usually at some point near Buffalo or Lewiston, one of those. So I grew up, we watched TV, all the channels came from Buffalo across the lake. And I used to think that Captain Kangaroo must live in Buffalo, New York, because I watched him on Channel 4, Buffalo. Love those. And this, oh my goodness. The two journals that I'm working on right now, I think I'm going to find a way to incorporate this into them, into Infelicia and into the other journal. I haven't sewn them yet, so I may have to find a way. For those of you who don't know what this is player piano paper, and I've actually never held any in my hands. I've seen it on videos when other people have got it, but I've never had any. So, and I'm shocked. I expected it to be very fragile, but it's not. It's, oh, I just ripped it there, but trust me, it's not. When I fold it like this, it doesn't crack. It's quite tough. That just tears like normal paper. So that is fantastic, and I will be using that. So my crafty crush, a great big thank you to you for yet another beautiful, a beautiful little Happy Meal. Well, not so little, but you know, I've already talked to you about this. All right, on to the haul portion of this video. I got a few little things. I went to my book sale on the weekend, my Kirby Church book sale. I got a few books there. Nothing to write home about. I think I found 6. They were $1 each. Just some little, I found a couple of textbooks, which I like using. And I've already put them on my shelves, and I'm not going to pull them off my shelves right now. If they were remarkable, I'd go grab them and show you. But I did find a book just called Hats. And I bought it because it was $1. And I bought it because it was just full of, oh, not there, black and white photos of people wearing hats. And I just thought that this would, for me, I don't get a lot of black and white photos. And so not only are they interesting, but, hold on, there's 2 guys in a boat, both wearing hats. Here's a lady wearing a bell on her head, like a hat. I love when I can put something quirky into a journal, something to make you go, So this book, although it's not an old book, I think it was like 2005, I seem to recall. But it still meets my standard of that it was secondhand, it's repurposed. I didn't buy it brand new. The money that I paid went to a church charity, so that was supportive of them and the good work that they do. And look at all these black and white and sepia toned photos that I got. So I'm very, very happy with all these hat. Look at this guy. I'm going to put that at the bottom of a page somewhere. There were two guys. Where are they? See, I'm wasting time. I fussy cut these guys to make them look like those characters that you get from Tim Holtz. And I fussy cut them. They were standing. He was sitting in a chair and he was standing, and they're both looking through binoculars in opposite directions. So there we go. There's that's the first thing that I got from my thrift haul. I found these this morning because no one was there to tell me, Catherine, you don't need any more playing cards. So I bought them. Watching my thumb here. Oh, come on. All right, I'm not opening this right now. I think that's Australia. Is that Australia? I think that's Australia. It's got the Union Jack up in the corner and the stars here. I believe that's the Australian flag. So my brothers and sisters down there in down under, part of the Commonwealth, yay! You guys got the awesome accent. Us Canadians, we sound like Bob and Doug McKenzie. I wish we got a cool Australian accent. I got some ribbons for, this one was 59 cents. This one was 50 cents. Now, this is a cool thing I found. And I haven't opened it up yet. I just grabbed it because I thought this would look cool in a lap book. I'm totally into lap books now. I made one and now I'm addicted. And inside is an old checkerboard. Hold on. Look at all those. Aren't they cute? This thing looks really old. Yeah, they're all in there. I'm going to have to carefully take this tape off. I don't want, this feels old. Number 1720 American Pencil Company, New York, USA. So, I love this. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it even more now. Oh boy, okay. Well, very happy with that. Let me put that aside. I found another book. Again, it's not old. It's not vintage. It's not antique. But it's got great pages that will make nice spreads for in signatures, because there's lots of writing space on them, and there's some pretty little illustrations. I won't even fussy cut this. I'm going to use them as is. I'm going to find the signature threads, cut them open, and just pull them out as is. It's a nice little book. I've never seen this one before. Household and Family Records. So that was cute. That was $1.99. Then I found this, which again, it's not old, but it's gorgeous. It is, there we go. It is, let me pull this off, the Christmas books. It's all the Christmas stories that Charles Dickens told. And they're all in one beautifully bound book. Look at the spine on this. Isn't that gorgeous? And I think this would make a really beautiful, I dropped something on the floor. Oh, it was just my ruler. I think this would make a beautiful Christmas journal. And again, for me, although I love making junk journals out of old books, for me, sometimes it just has to be that it's an interesting book that I bought secondhand. And that's one of my, that's how I work my way around this. Because this, I think, let me see what year it is. 2005. So it is 14 years old. But it's got some nice illustrations in it. It's got those original old kind of illustrations that was in The Last of the Spirits, A Christmas Carol. It's a lovely book. And some of you might say, oh, you should keep that. But I already have a beautiful copy of, oh, there's Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig. Although I love Mr. and Mrs. Fozziwig too. I already have a beautiful really old copy of A Christmas Carol. So this one, I think it needs to become a Christmas journal. Look at him. I love Dickens. Okay, and here's the last one, and this book keeps finding me and haunting me. I think this is my 5th copy that I own now. And thrift stores don't know what they've got when they price these, because look what I paid. And that's Canadian. So that means it's really like 25 cents. Oh, gee. It's in absolutely pristine condition. Absolutely perfect, pristine condition. So I don't need this many. I don't need this many copies of this book. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one aside, and maybe I'm going to decide on, I'm just absolutely tickled with how many people are subscribing to my YouTube channel here. So I think maybe I'll choose a number of, when I achieve a certain number of subscribers, and then one of these Country Diary of an Edwardian Ladies by Edith Holden is going to have to, the universe keeps sending them to me, so I guess it's time that I need to send one out to the universe. So that's it. That's my little visit with my lavender lace and my little sewing notions, bits and bobs from my mother-in-law, and my amazing Happy Mail from my boo, and had a good little thrift haul today. So thanks for stopping by, especially if you're still here at this point. You've stuck in for the long haul. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see if I can haul something out of the freezer for dinner, and we'll talk soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.